Hotel Monte Vista in Flagstaff, Arizona was built in 1927. It has been a hotspot for violence and tragedy throughout its sordid history. Many of its guests have reported witnessing supernatural activity within its walls. On October 12, 2021, we conducted our own investigation in its most active room.
Bye, Lise. I don't think she can hear me.
Okay, it's recording. So we're headed out today. For many of you that know, Clay and I have a podcast called Talk About Scary. And on our first episode, we talked about the Hotel Monte Vista. And I personally have had a very scary experience there. So we wanted to go back. Well, actually, I didn't want to go back. The viewers wanted us to go back and check it out. So Clay is forcing me to do this. I hate you, Clay. But we're going to start our excursion now. He should be here any minute, making him drive up here.
So I'm on my way to meet up with Adam right now. I'm not going to go into details, but we have something really special planned for all of you. And all I'm going to say right now is that it involves the Hotel Monte Vista in Flagstaff, which we've talked about before. That's why it's special.
It's a beautiful day today. I think it's probably 65 degrees. It is hard to talk about scary when it's nice out.
I'll let you guys know when I get there, because you aren't gonna want to miss this. We've got something really fun planned. Safety first.
Can't wait to see what the day is gonna bring. We got all of the equipment packed up here. Just turn you guys around. Nice and inconspicuous so that nobody can see what we're doing. We don't want any bogeys or people thinking we're doing something we're not supposed to be doing, because we are. We're professionals. So yeah, he's gonna be here any second and we'll get going. Exciting.
Adam lives in Fountain Hills. Don't live in Fountain Hills.
Don't hit my car though, jeez. You can just park in the driveway.
I don't like parking in the driveway.
Park in my driveway.
Your driveway is not adequate.
It's right, yeah. Tristan's parked over there for right now and Ari's here, so you park in the driveway to keep your car safe.
I'll park in the driveway.
All right. So how do you feel about where we're going now?
I'm scared.
I'm a little scared, man. A little scared. They, so at the Monte Vista, there's all sorts of ghost evidence that ghosts have been there. They shot a scene of Casablanca there. I thought that was pretty cool. And like a lot of movie stars and rock and roll stars have stayed there over the years. There's like Bon Jovi, John Wayne said he saw a ghost there. Debbie Reynolds stayed there.
Michael J. Fox has stayed there.
Michael J. Fox has stayed there as well. And all these really reputable people say that they have these ghost stories, right? That I think that's pretty cool. But it's always like these really benign things. Like there's an old lady room that is I think it's 305, where they say she's rocking a rocking chair and she died there. And it's just not a whole bunch of evidence to support anything. People are like, oh, I see the rocking chair moving, but I can see a rocking chair moving, can't you? I mean, sometimes they move on their own when the wind turns on. I mean, when the air conditioning turns on.
It's hardly proof.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Hardly proof. Now, where we're going is 306. And in this room, 2 prostitutes, and this is documented information, it was a real crime scene. 2 prostitutes in the 1940s were murdered and thrown out of the window. People that have stayed there have left in the middle of the night. Sans refund, they didn't get a refund for leaving, saying that they felt like they were being choked, being watched. Really weird things happen in this room, and it's most often vacant. People don't stay there. So when we went and we asked for a room where we're going tonight, that was actually the only room that was still vacant, which is good for us, I guess, or bad for us. I don't know. But I'm excited to see what happens. I hope I get choked out tonight, or whatever.
Oh, you will.
You will.
You will.
We'll see what happens. We'll see. But it has the most supernatural activity. More people have left that room in the middle of the night and not to return. They don't like playing around, and no one wants to stay in that room. And I asked the girl at the front desk, will we reserve the room if she's heard any stories in there, and she's like, yes, it's the most active room on the property, and she is not keen on going in there. So we shall see when we get there. You're just recording us?
Yeah.
Yes. That's the biggest dash cam I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't know what it's getting.
I don't know. As our faithful listeners know, is that I was up here 20 years ago and something definitely happened to me. So this is the only place that anything's ever happened to me. We'll see what happens.
I'm gonna do everything I can to provoke it.
Them. It's a them. You believe it's the property as in it is just holding on to energy, or do you believe that there's specters that are floating around?
Maybe both. I think the property has a really big history. Just a lot of stuff has supposedly happened there, so I think it's got that going for it.
I don't want to talk about all the stuff that happened in the history there because I want to save some for the podcast tonight. But yeah, it's got a lot of shady history. I mean, everything in Arizona is fairly shady, but
Except for when it's sunny, which is like most of the time.
it's true. A lot of shady stuff happens in the sunlight here.
See,
The camera likes me more. Keep sliding this way. Loves me. It's like, I want that man in my shot. Dude, this is some extreme driving right here.
that view is pretty good.
This is gorgeous, man. It's gorgeous. At least we get all this. It's getting colder and colder as we drive.
It is. It just like instantly became fall/winter in Arizona.
Where we're going, it's actually not even desert at all. It's gonna be really cool. Too bad we didn't have an extra day. We could go to the Lowell Observatory while we're there. Really get our geek on.
We could check out Uranus.
I heard it's large and gaseous.
You are correct, sir. For those at home watching, it's actually called Uranus.
Uranus.
thing incredible.
Bunch of flat ground.
A bunch of flat ground.
And the scenic overlook's coming up soon. Sunset Pass. Sunset Crater is what it's called, right?
Yeah.
And that's good for me because I've got to go to the bathroom really bad. We got hot dogs here.
Hot dogs.
Woo-wee. You recording me, recording you. Recording me.
That's weird.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
These things, I still had quarters.
Should we hit the road? The road is called clay.
Ah. So we're here. It's crazy. We're in sunny, warm Flagstaff, Arizona. Doesn't get any more beautiful than this. And we're pulling up to the Hotel Monte Vista. Monte Vista. Right now, pretty much. Nice stuff. There it is. I'm gonna find parking around here somewhere. Just like I remember it. So one of the coolest things ever in Flagstaff is a really hippie place. You got all these recycling things, which I love, and earth. And they got a little library here. Look at this little library. Oh man, this is cool. Let's see what they got in here. Okay. Look at all this stuff. This is kind of cool, man. We need these in our hometown. Vista, here we go. Woo! I know it's here somewhere. I don't know how to get in, but pretty cool stuff. How to get in this place?
I don't know. Go in and ask.
Or something. told you, built in 1927. It's over there. Aerial photography. Wow. Hi. So what's your name?
My name's Amber.
And is it okay that we're recording you right now?
Yes.
Okay. And so Amber, how long have you worked here at the Hotel Monte Vista?
Since May of this year, so only a few months.
All right. And we've heard a lot of hoopla about this place being haunted. You think that is correct?
I think it is 100% haunted.
Okay. Have you seen or heard anything?
I had one occurrence in room 306, which is one of our most active rooms.
That's the one we're staying in.
Yes. I actually caught on footage to the chair moving on its own, very like abruptly, very unnatural, not like someone was sitting in it, but like someone was maybe rocking it from the back, and it like rocked and then stopped abruptly. So that was my only occurrence, and I don't know, it's something that I think you feel when you're in the hotel. If you're like sensitive to energies, you can feel that it's haunted for
Yeah.
sure, or that there's spirits around.
And that's the prostitute one, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's the one. So two prostitutes in the 1940s were murdered and thrown out of the window. There.
Pushed out the window, yes. And they like to tease male guests, so.
We're males.
So watch out.
Well, thank you very much. I
Of
appreciate
course,
it.
you're very welcome.
You have to take the stairs because the elevators are down.
Are you recording that part?
I didn't record him say that, but
Oh, I'm going to record.
you really think I'm gonna waste my time? Here, press the button and see what happens. We'll show the viewers.
No, I don't want to do that. Oh, he would have breaks it worse. Okay.
See?
Man. Good thing I don't have my hazmat.
Good thing we're not on the 44th floor.
306. Okay. We're going to 306. Debbie Reynolds once stayed in this room, 307. Debbie Reynolds room. There's 305. Bon Jovi stays in 305. Not too scary so far. All right. 306. Drop the key. Oh, God. And a lovely room.
Turn around, film me.
Here I come.
Yeah, you want to see a ghost? Said I was gonna do it.
Hey, I seen a ghost. Let's get all the modern amenities of a haunted room that's got a flat screen television and a refrigerator right here. Of course, I mean, these kind of pictures don't help matters at all. Jeez. Would be terrifying. This is the rocking chair that's supposed to freak out on you. I rocked it myself. Nobody rocked that. I rocked that myself. The last time I was in this room was almost 20 years ago. And I feel like it's less scary now than it was then. So we'll talk about this in the podcast again. But 2 prostitutes were thrown out of this window right here onto San Francisco.
What's this?
Ave, right down here below. That didn't kill them. They were killed before they were thrown out. Lovely bathroom.
It's pretty small.
I'm gonna haunt that thing in a few minutes. It's gonna be haunting.
I mean, he's going through poop.
Poop, probably. Most likely. Okay, cool. Boom.
Lights
Or whatever.
We went down and got our gear from the car. Exhausted, Adam laid on the bed and started making various jokes.
Clay began to play around with his dowsing rods when this happened. Okay. Okay, so last time I was here, I mentioned that the door opened by itself. I was not kidding. I'm totally freaking serious. Clay and I just brought all our stuff upstairs. We were making a bunch of jokes
About drawing pentagrams and upside down crosses under the bed and pretending to find it.
and he brought out these things, which are
They're copper rods that are supposed to signal energy, and they're supposed to point in the direction when you find something, and they were both pointing.
Did you hear that again? So this door was shut. 100% shut when we walked in the door. The whole door was shut. Back when I was here,
Adam, I'm not even kidding right now.
back when I was here,
I'm smiling, but I'm scared.
so back when I was here, about 20 years ago, this door had 3 locks on it, and they were all regular deadbolts, or deadbolt, a regular doorknob, and it slammed open with a chain on it. We shut the door, and we shut it fully. We came in, put our stuff down.
These were just like going crazy before that all happened, and now they won't stop pointing towards the door.
They were spinning around like crazy, and we were just playing around. We didn't think anything was in here. I was disillusioned. And that happened. Can you shut that door, please? So, I'm gonna go over here. The camera's even set up yet. Okay. So, try to get them out of that.
No, I started pointing them right at you.
Do it again. I want the viewers to see. The absolute shit. If who's ever in here or in the hotel, if you can open that door again, would you please open the door again? I'm shaking right now. We're sorry we made fun of you. If you could just open the door, that'd be great.
Like, this is super weird because when I was playing with these at home, it feels like they like slide around, but now that I'm doing it and they're staying very steady, it just feels different. I don't know how to explain it.
Maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe that's not going to happen again.
I'm not even kidding. I'm holding my hands perfectly straight.
All right, so tell us again how these are supposed to work.
So the way they're supposed to work is kind of like a compass. The copper is supposed to react to the like magnetic field. So when you put them up and you're looking for ghosts, you hold them very, very straight, and they're supposed to move in the direction if they catch something, which could, I mean, anything could be causing this. I mean, a TV has enough energy that if you, which the TV's off. I don't think there's anything else in here that.
After a few more moments, whatever activity we witnessed subsided. After, we set up cameras for the Talk About Scary podcast.
All right.
Here we go.
Gonna shoot an episode
Test. Okay, making sure that's
of our show. The whole reason we're here.
Oh boy, what a night it's been so far.
It's daytime.
Yeah, it's not even night yet. Kind of scared. Okay, wanna do it?
Yeah.
You have to open up. What camera are you going to look at? Like it matters.
All of them. What's your camera doing?
It's recording.
Why is it recording away from us?
Oh, it's recording that rocking chair and all that part of the room and that camera in case we miss anything else. I don't want to miss anything.
Okay.
Just like Aerosmith, I don't want to miss a thing.
Here we go.
Ready?
Welcome to Talk About Scary, the show where we do just that. Talk about scary places. And I don't know what camera to look at.
You just pick a camera. Just pick a camera, look at it, and then when you want to switch, you switch to the next one. And
Yeah,
that's all you
but
have
like
to do.
if I'm looking over there,
I did something weird.
that was weird. What was that?
I don't know. It's still doing it. Whew. Okay, well, we might have some.
Technical issues. That camera over there, you, that one, not you, that one,
Shouldn't be doing that.
is having some weird issues on the monitor.
That was weird. Some weird feed issue.
Um,
Okay.
Anyway, what I was going to say after that was we are coming to you live. Well, when you watch it, it won't be live, but we are in person right now
We're in
on
person.
this couch at the Monte Vista Hotel, located in cold Flagstaff, Arizona.
Historic
Cold and
Flagstaff,
cold.
Arizona.
That if I'm looking at that one, I feel like that one's neglected.
It's okay. They want to see
I'm
your
just-
side profile.
I'm just gonna be like,
a nice side profile.
hey.
Just pick one and look at it. It'll be fine. We have 2 cameras set up today. Actually, we have 4 cameras set up because we already saw some pretty unnerving things here, and one of them we almost missed, and we're not going to fall for that again. Not going to fall for that. So,
Other ghost.
many of you, loyal listeners, thank you so much, by the way. We love you.
Still doing it.
Is it still doing it?
Still doing it.
It's recording. It's all that matters to me. The monitor can do whatever it wants.
Huzzah! The episode must go on.
It's going to go on. A lot of our loyal listeners, thank you, loyal listeners, and viewers.
Thanks or whatever.
Thank you. We thank you. Thank you so much for all your the generous donation of your time. We wanted to. This is a listener request. Our first episode we ever talked about was at the Monte Vista Hotel in Flagstaff, Arizona, where we are right now, right off San Francisco Street, right outside our window here. And we told a story about all the hauntings at the Monte Vista. In particular, room 306 is the scariest one for me. I told Clay I don't generally believe in this nonsense at all. However, some things can't be explained. So my wife and I stayed here. I'm going to recap real quick. Is that okay? I recap?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay. My wife and I were staying here. There used to be a Maloney's Pub right over here out this window down the street. We decided to stay here. Very romantic, very nice time. And after our very romantic, very nice time, she fell asleep soundly, so soundly that she would not be woken up. Probably from the alcohol. And we had a lot of beer.
Did you punch her?
They did not punch her. They did not punch women. So,
Punching always works.
if you want to wake a woman up, punching will work. I wouldn't really suggest it. So there's a door over here, and the bed was situated in a different direction when we stayed here. And there was a light by the door, and the bed was by the door. And I turned the light off. I'm kind of jittery. You can hear it in my voice still. I'm a little bit nervous. I turned the light off after I locked the doors. At the time, there was a deadbolt chain. There was a chain. There was a deadbolt, and there was a door knob lock. And I shut it firmly, locked, chained it. I went to turn the light off, and the first lock popped, deadbolt popped, door flew open and hit the chain. I sat against this wall staring at that door for the rest of the night till about 7 a.m. when I woke her up finally, and we left. I was terrified, and I always promised that I would never, ever, ever come back here.
Here we are!
Yeah, I didn't want to, but here we are. And so far, lots of weird things have happened. Obviously, people always say things have happened. We talked to a girl downstairs, and she says that she had a seance in this room, and there was a rocking chair that started moving on its own. The rocking chair is placed out of the way now. Do not pay attention to that monitor. Our electronics are kind of going crazy here. I don't know why. They just kind of are.
It's pretty cool, though, when an employee that works at the hotel is willing to open up and tell you about her experiences. And not only that, but in this very room, she mentioned a couple of things that she has seen and heard, and has friends that have seen and heard things that have been seen and heard.
And heard and seen.
In this room. But anyway, it's pretty cool, and we figured, how can you talk about scary in a better place than at the scary place that you're talking about?
It's true. It's 100% true. How could you talk about it? It would be impossible. Next to impossible.
Well, we could talk about it from our homes like normal. But
we're not doing that anymore, probably. It's not going to happen that way. Told you.
What is that?
Nothing yet.
Sorry, I just wanted to.
And for our listeners at home, because this is obviously not a video, church bells. This is you will not get this video if you're at home. The exact same thing happened after we came in the door. Clay picked up some of these. What do you call these rods here, Clay?
They're like they're used for a couple of different things, but they're like ghost hunting copper rods.
Divining rods, right?
Yeah, that you use, and they're supposed to respond to magnetic energy that is in the air. So kind of like a compass, how it always points north because of the magnetic field on Earth. So a lot of different things can happen, but you hold them straight forward, try to keep as steady as possible, and they are supposed to move.
And they are moving. And these things are pretty stiff. They're not really...
And they're both pointing...
to the window behind Clay.
Behind me. So let's go straight into it and set those down, because the last time we got them out, the door opened. And
the door opened again, and we had shut it firmly again, and now it's a magnetic lock, you know, the ones you use the keys for, that you can't even get into without a lock, and the damn thing opened on its own. Twice. The first time we were talking about it, those rods pointed directly at the door in a second, and they opened up. We got that on camera, so guys, if you're listening to this podcast, go check out the episode we'll have.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. It's a full-length feature, so go check it out. We'll keep you updated on what platforms it'll be on.
I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm not used to, like, seeing myself.
It's weird, right?
Like,
yeah, this is the way I usually set up the cameras at my house.
I don't do it like this.
It's weird, huh? I think that you should know how you look to your folks at home.
What? Yep.
There you go. So anyway, it happened again. I was real scared.
He goes like this.
It might
shows me his arm.
Every hair was standing on my arm.
Massive goosebumps. Full blown chicken.
And I was still nervous and shaky about it, but hey, we're doing it. We're doing the thing, and that's all there is to it. So,
but anyway, the rods. Just now you saw. We have proof. Rewind the episode if you forgot already.
If you're watching the episode, if you're listening to it, you can't really see it.
Just take our word for it. We're not lying. We have nothing to gain from lying. But the rods just pointed at the window. So since we're in this room, we're going to talk about 306 and some other parts of the hotel. But let's start with the scary things in this room. And the window is kind of the main backdrop of the biggest haunting.
Right behind us. The window is... We're sitting in a couch with a window right behind us.
Which hand? This one. Over here.
Wait, it's weird. You have to get used to it. Right's left, left's right. Okay.
This is what the rods are like. Just
everywhere. Spinning on.
But anyway, it was years ago in the 1940s. We talked about this in the previous episode. 2 prostitutes were brought to this very room. Could be here now. They're spirits, anyway. And they were killed and thrown from this window.
I believe they were strangled. Does it say strangled or just killed?
I'm on the Monte Vista their hotel website, and it just says killed. But
now I think that I had checked out some other reputable sources, and one of them said that they were strangled, which is...
you can be strangled until you die.
Yeah, you be strangled to death instead of like stabbed or anything else. But they said they were strangled, choked to death, and then tossed out this very window right here. This is the window right here. These windows look pretty original to 1927. They're single pane. Look like nothing's changed. They definitely haven't repainted anything. The finish on these things is old as hell. Doors too. not a lot of renovation has gone into as much as they said it has.
There's a TV right there.
That's about all they've done, and put a refrigerator in the corner. And once in a while, I'm going to look away or be quiet for a second as electronics keep clarking out on us, which is fine.
It's weird. I feel stupid saying it because you always watch those like ghost hunting shows and they're like, what's going on with our equipment? Ah! But it's legitimately happening. And you can see both of us looking over at that camera as it's having issues. We have 2 other cameras that we're not using for this episode. They're DSLRs set up behind these cameras, shooting at us, just so we can get more of the room in case something happens. Adam mentioned it. But I can't see.
We have
what
it
they're
really
doing.
well lit in here too because we're chicken shits, and we just
Yeah.
I want to make sure there's all the light. I'm gonna sleep with all the lights on tonight. I'm just gonna check the camera real quick while we're talking. Keep talking.
But anyway, I can't see what those cameras are doing, so they could be having issues too. They might be malfunctioning. They might have been shut off. I don't know. And now I'm the only host of Talk About Scary, so we're changing the name of this to...
boring.
You're ruining my moment.
Okay,
I
please.
have one moment in each episode, and that was it. And
Talk
it's-
about clay.
Yeah. On the way here, on the drive, which if you watch the movie, you'll see it, there is a clay street or avenue or road or boulevard. It's still doing it.
It should be no reason why this is doing this at all. Okay.
Anyway, going back to the prostitutes. Yeah!
Prostitutas.
Over the years, numerous guests have reported being awakened in the middle of the night and unable to return to sleep. That happened to you?
It did happen to me, actually, yes.
The majority of the time, it's male guests.
That's why we're here, because we are a couple of wild and crazy guys.
100% male.
That's right. All dude here. Head to toe dude.
Yeah.
Boom.
Like Iron Man.
Yeah. Pretty much. So
I wish I was like the Playboy millionaire philanthropist that he is too, not just the man.
No, you mean okay.
Just Robert Downey Jr.
There you go. All right.
Anyway, but a lot of the times men report having a feeling of hands being placed over their mouth or throat, or awakening, unable to breathe.
Or
Or
I was gonna say something totally inappropriate. A little autoerotic asphyxiation never hurt anybody though. Little.
Hey, you be careful. The last time you were laying on that bed and
Yeah, and I
you
offered.
were making jokes.
I was making jokes. That's when it happened. But a little help to help you conclude might not be a bad thing. I mean, maybe that's what they're doing. There's a couple of handy girls giving you a handy time. No. Okay. I don't talk like this normally, and I'm actually diffusing all of my nervousness with dirty jokes because that's how is my coping mechanism.
Is it working?
And I'm also hoping that I can provoke whatever's in here to do what it did again. But we will see. Please continue, Clay.
The next room over. 305.
305.
Known as the rocking chair room.
Now, I gotta say, seems like a couple of these rooms have the rocking chair story.
Yeah. Lady at the front desk said that she has seen the rocking chair in this room rock. So, again, rocking chairs, they're kind of designed to easily
Rock.
move.
Not doors. I'm still very dizzy, very nervous.
But 305 has been featured in many paranormal shows and is popular amongst curious guests. 305 is one of the most active rooms in the hotel, along with 306, which is funny too because if you see, you probably can't out the window, but if you see how the building is laid out, they're both they're both like right on the corner.
Yeah, 305 is right next to us.
Yeah, it's
Right in front of us, actually.
Yeah. Guests and housekeepers have reported seeing the chair move by itself, and oftentimes knocking can be heard from within the closet in that room.
Which I believe their closet is on the other side of our closet.
So someone in 306 could be knocking on the closet of 305.
Could happen.
And the logical explanation is that it's ghosts.
Yes. I actually flew right to Ghost when I saw that door open, so whatever.
Well, you can't fly to like pinto beans. That doesn't make any sense. So, of course it was ghosts. It can't be pinto beans.
We'll see about it.
Anyway, going back to the rocking chair. Years ago, an elderly woman who was a long-term renter would sit in the rocking chair looking out the window for hours on end. So a lot of people think that it might be her spirit still looking out the window for hours on end.
Yeah, maybe. You know, here's the thing: is that not too scary, sitting in a room with an old lady, sweet old lady. A lot of people like that room. It's they're one of their favorite rooms. We went into the most unpopular room there is here, 306, because it's almost always vacant. Nobody wants to stay in this room, and they've had too many. This has been described to me from the last time I had a phone call with the lady at the front desk, which I believe was the manager. They leave in the middle of the night, not to get a refund because they cannot get a refund. So that's just one of the things they told me when I rented the room. It's like, hey, you can stay in that room, but if you leave, you're not getting a refund. So I think that's kind of interesting about this room. Even though 305, I would have loved to stay in because not as scary.
The point is talk about scary, not talk about not as scary.
Yeah. So I'm doing a lot here. For you guys today. Okay. So you're gonna go to 220. I saw it. I see it on your.
You wanna go ahead? That's the Meat Man room.
I actually like this room a lot. I like the way it sounds.
I like meat.
I'm a man. Clay had some meat today. He had a burger.
I had a burger.
Nice. So this is an odd story. Room 220, which is below us and a little bit down the hall.
It's actually a pretty small hotel. There's a map on the door. A lot of hotels have that where it shows you, the fire exits and what rooms are there. And there's only about like 10 to 12 rooms on each floor.
No, not a whole bunch.
Yeah, this is a relatively small hotel.
There was a long-term boarder that was kind of weird that stayed in room 220, which we took some pictures of, and we'll have them on our Instagram. Guys, we have an Instagram coming up. Please look for us on Instagram. What's the name of it?
Talk About Scary.
There you go. Don't forget Talk About Scary on Instagram. Give us a like, or what do? They follow on Instagram, right? On the Instagrams. Yeah. Follow us on Instagram. Look at the pictures. We've got pictures of the rooms, the plaques, some of the famous stars that have stayed there. I think that's quite interesting. And room 220. The Meat Man room again. He was a long-term boarder. And he was known by his strange habit of hanging raw meat from the chandelier. Nice, right? Classy. In the early 1980s, the lodger was found in his room 3 days after his death. Not long after this boarder's death, a maintenance worker was working on a few repairs. When in need of a new fixture, he left the room, turned the lights off, and locked the door. Returning only a few minutes later, he found the television on at full volume, and the linens on the bed had been ripped and scattered around the room. Today, it's most common for the television to act on its own accord, as well as reports of cold male hands touching guests in their sleep. Not on their privates, it doesn't say here, but I'm imagining it's your privates. I hope it's your privates.
Why does it have to be male hands?
He's male. So there you go.
Yeah, but would you ever describe that? Oh yeah, I was touched by a ghost and it was definitely male hands.
Nice. I'm going to do the bank robber too. This is no longer here, and I want to do the bank robber too. So when we stayed here 20 years ago, there was a really nifty bar on the 4th floor. And it came with all the original mirrors and wood finishings from the original hotel. And it was very spooky. It was beautiful. It's very spooky. Spooky. And it was original. For some reason, when they restored this place, I'm using quotation marks for the folks listening, they renovated it. They did a lot of stuff that wasn't here. They took that bar out. So now there's this little coffee shop bar downstairs. It's really trendy for all the millennials. No offense, Clay, but I miss the old-timey fun. Anyway, there was a bank robber in 1970. This is a documented story. He was a shootout. He ran with a bullet hole in him, and he came into this hotel and hid in that bar. And he asked for a drink, bleeding out. He tried to hide it, and he had his drink. He wound up dying in that bar. people to this day say they can see and hear him. It said he bled to death while enjoying his last drink. And people have reported being greeted by an anonymous voice saying good morning. There have also been reports of bar stools and drinks that have seemed to have moved on their own. However, that bar is no longer here. Where the hell is he going to go now? Thanks, guys. But I'm sure it's a room. Enjoy that. You can do Baby in the Basement if you want to. Or there's another. There's a Phantom Bellboy, which I think is garbage. I'm going to play with these a little bit. Ooh, spooky room. Go ahead. Perfectly straight, not touching anything.
There is a baby in the basement.
That's it.
That's just what the story's called.
The end.
There's been disturbing sounds of an infant crying in the basement. Again and again. Lots of people have heard this. It's reported primarily by maintenance and laundry personnel. This is one of the most disturbing encounters that people have had at this hotel. Though the sounds are real to those who hear them, there have been absolutely no information that explains this phenomenon. No one knows, like, if a baby died there, just baby crying, infant crying. So you'll notice too, I'm sure you can hear it because of our mics, that it's noisy outside. You can hear the street. You can even hear people kind of chit-chatting as they walk by if they're loud enough. So that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if people just hear babies crying and are like, it's in the basement.
Some things are real, some things aren't real. Some things can be explained, some things can't be explained.
Until something happens to you, I don't know. I'm a believer, but that story just kind of...
Okay.
I don't know. We'll go searching for it later because I would love to accidentally stumble upon disturbing infant crying noises.
All right, so I'm not doing the Phantom Bellboy. That is stupid. You can do that one. I like the dancing couple because it's romantic. And it seems like there's a haunting in every corner of this place. I don't believe it, but we'll see. I am still pretty scared of that damn door.
Yeah, what are you looking at right now?
The door.
It's not moving.
I just don't. Okay. It says on several occasions, lounge and staff patrons have witnessed a transparent couple in the cocktail lounge. They are seen in formal dress, laughing and smiling, eternally dancing. I will say one thing. They say after any major renovation, that's not a restoration in these haunted places, these supposedly haunted places, that's when the most activity happens because you piss off the ghosts.
Yeah.
Clay believes, as he said several times in the past, that energies are stored in certain areas, and it's not so much ghost of things as it is the energy from past events that have lingered. Maybe it's a parallel dimension, parallel universe kind of phenomenon where these things are crossing over. I'm actually just expounding on this now. And maybe when they're in this area and they see things the way they should be and they instantly see things the way they're not supposed to be for a second, they flip out for a minute and then things are back to normal. Maybe they're constantly in flux and they're like, why did that carpet color change so rapidly? And they stop and then they're back to normal again. Who knows? Really? Who knows? I'm not a scientist. I'm just a poor filmmaker.
We have no credibility to these shows. I thought this man was a scientist.
I am not a scientist. I'm not a doctor.
I think this is just one of those hotels. There's places like this on the earth. Just in every city's got them. I think this is just one of those places where a lot of stuff has happened. There's a very rich history. I mean, you'll see if you watch the movie, but we walked up and down the halls and took pictures and just talked about some of the famous people. I mean, there's a Michael J. Fox suite, Debbie Reynolds, I forget, what are we in, the Gary Cooper?
Oh, yeah, we forgot to say so many things. So, a part of Casablanca was filmed downstairs.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right?
So there's so much foot traffic in this hotel. Famous people, murders, robberies.
Lots of murders happened here.
Yeah.
That's something that is
for sure
true.
documented. 2 people keep flew out the window right behind us.
Yeah. There's been a lot of murders, a lot of weird deaths, unexplained deaths in this place. That is not something that's fabricated. It's something that's tangible that you can look up. Please feel free to do your own research. But it is absolutely there. Also, the place was built in 1927. So during the age of Prohibition, a lot of the Chinese immigrants that came over here to Arizona to work on railroads and things like that dug a series of tunnels under the city that were attached to here. And that's where they had all of their the smuggling of alcohol into this hotel, which turned into a speakeasy at the time. Brothel. This place was also a brothel. And under the tunnels, there were brothels. People got murdered down in those tunnels, too. And they did a lot of nefarious type shit down there. There was opium dens, which was really popular back then. So a lot of history in this place. Zane Grey himself donated copious amounts of money to the building of this community property. This was a community hotel for a very long time until it became private. So there's a lot of history here. And undoubtedly, if you believe in nonsensical things like spooks and specters, then this would be the place you'd want to go. And the place just looks creepy as hell. Like it looks like you stepped into a time machine.
It does.
Except for this luxurious couch we're sitting on. Everything else is pretty much old. Even these IKEA tables have got to be from like 20 years ago.
I mean, even the elevator's not working. They're having issues with the elevator. That's in the film, too. I keep referencing the film, but watch the film if you're just listening to the podcast. Watch the film. But the elevator's not working, and we have to go up the stairs, and the stairs are just very narrow, old-timey, like... it's like stepping out of a time machine.
Should I tell them what the name's going to be of the film right now?
Well, they're watching it. So if they're watching this, they already know.
But the listeners.
You don't like...
The listeners.
All right, yeah,
It's called A Haunting at the Monte Vista. I think that's pretty... Or should it be a haunting at the Hotel Monte Vista. Which one should it be?
We don't have to decide right now. We're sorry that we wasted your time.
It's going to be...
Check out the movie. It's Talk About Scary, A Haunting at the Monte Vista.
They're probably going to do A Haunting at the Monte Vista.
Yeah, haunting.
I don't want to put too many. Even though A Haunting at the Hotel is a nice little piece of alliteration.
I think it's just called Hotel Monte Vista.
Okay.
But
we'll call it The Monte Vista then. I like that better. A Haunting at the Monte Vista. Let's just do that.
Haunting.
Listen for that. That's what we're doing.
Monte Vista.
So, yeah.
Check it out. Check out the film. We're going to be doing some ghost hunting.
Ghost hunting here.
Both cameras.
By the way, there's a logbook downstairs, or there used to be, and I think it's still down there, with everybody who's ever said that they've seen anything in here, and it's like a Bible. It's so big. People come. The joint's jumping tonight. Every room.
It is.
Every room was booked,
Except this one.
This one. Nobody wants to stay in this room. They were very, very clear about that. So, we'll see what happens. They'd rather stay in a room that has a communal shower and a toilet.
Yeah, that's weird to me. We have a good 1 foot by half a foot bathroom just for us.
That doesn't happen in these old hotels.
Like, I barely fit in that bathroom.
This is a luxurious suite for back in the day. Back in 1927. Luxury all around. So
Luxury. Thy name is prostitute.
Prostitution. Was it legal? It was legal back then for a while, wasn't it? I don't know either.
I don't learn about that in school.
No, they don't teach us that.
Not that I'm in school anymore. I've been out long enough that I would have forgotten anyway. But you get the point. But I think we're running low on time for this episode.
Yeah, let me check. Let's see what we got.
Keep it
Scary.
At about the same length as the rest.
Yeah, we're out of time. So we started about 4 minutes early, so we're right where we need to be.
Perfect.
So,
watch the film. Let's recap. Watch the film. We're sitting in room 306 of the Hotel Monte Vista in historic, cold Flagstaff, Arizona. And we are going to try to provoke everything and everything's mother tonight to see what we can get on camera.
That's right.
Check it out. You might see Adam get scared. You might see me pee myself.
Might happen.
It might.
It might happen. I already got scared once you guys missed it. See you next time. And as always, guys, thanks for listening. And please, creep it real.
That's right.
Keep it real.
That's
All right, guys. See, that was a really good episode.
That was a good episode.
Flowed nicely. It's easier when we're both in the room.
Yeah, I think it helps that we're here, though, because...
We gotta do this more often.
That camera, though, why was that why did it stop? Because I thought maybe when you got up and fixed it.
I don't know.
But it kept doing it.
Yep. I don't know. I'll turn this off now.
You know,
after we were finished with the podcast, a haze enveloped the room.
This is what the room looked like upon our arrival.
You can see by the pictures and video, it was considerably hazier afterward.
It's a room. It was not like that when we got here.
The hotel staff could offer no explanation as to why this happened.
The haze did not seem to affect any other part of the hotel besides our room. Feeling a little lightheaded, we decided to take a break and eat some dinner away from the hotel. You want an iced tea or hot tea? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
We're staying at the Monte Vista Hotel.
Okay, cool.
Have you ever been there?
I have.
Do you believe in hauntings?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Is it haunted?
I mean, I haven't stayed there, but I hear that it is, and I believe it.
Okay. All right. So this is our first Evp session in room 306, the supposedly haunted room where two prostitutes and in the what was it 40s? They
1940s.
They were murdered and thrown out the window behind us. Pretty scary. There it is. So weird dividing garage shadows. So we're gonna ask some questions, and hopefully we'll get some answers. I hope. This whole room is just buzzing with electricity. Like I can hear the bad wiring like crazy.
I can unplug the...
Maybe that might work. Let's see. Does a lot better.
Unplug the fridge.
Okay. So, if you are here, were you murdered here? You opened the door earlier. Were you trying to ask us to leave? Do you want us to leave? Can you say anything? Can you open up one of these three doors? Anything at all? Do you want to talk to Clay?
What is your name? Do you like it here?
How much did you charge for a good time? It probably wasn't enough. All right, I think we can stop for a few minutes. You start again.
We didn't get any response from our initial EVP.
So we decided to experiment with the dowsing rods once more and ask specific questions.
The result was unsettling.
Were you murdered in this room? Great. Was there one man in this room that murdered you? So you're crossing it. So one man. Were you thrown out of the window? Okay. Were you murdered in the bathtub? Just sitting on yes here. Were you strangled? Was it you that opened the door for us earlier when we first got here? Did you open the door for us when we first got here? Did something else open the door for us when we first got here? Or was it you? I don't know what else to ask. What else should I ask?
Are the other ghosts bad? Nah, we good.
After trying to communicate using the dowsing rods, we decided to split up.
All right.
I think that's decent. What are you gonna do?
I am going to take my recorder up to the...
I want to call it the 5th floor, but it's really a stairwell on the 4th floor that leads up to a door just in the darkness. And I'm going to just ask a couple questions and see if any other ghosts besides our 2 prostitutes want to come out to play. So,
No one's going to play. I would like to go and play some more.
lots of ghosts at this hotel though, so we'll
See what
if I get
happens.
anything.
All right.
Creep it real.
Creep it real. Do it up.
Do it up.
All right. Have fun.
I will.
Is there anyone here? Anyone at all? Did you die here? Why do you stay at this hotel? Are you trapped?
Adam began to feel ill during the course of the investigation. He was feeling lightheaded and nauseous. His symptoms disappeared whenever he went outside.
So we took a break from the investigation to talk to the camera.
So my personal opinion about staying at the Monte Vista Hotel is that you can probably find a better haunted hotel.
I mean, the hotel is old, and even though it's been renovated, it's dilapidated. And do I think it's worth the money to go? You know, I gotta say, absolutely not.
I wish we had seen a bit more. Some of it was spooky.
So I think they prey on people wanting to come and see something that might not be there. That's just me. But I do know that when I got into the hotel tonight at 3:30 p.m. afternoon, that frickin' door opened by itself. That was not fabricated at all. And it was terrifying. It was. I had the hair standing up on my arms. We showed you on camera that I was actually rattled by that. The door was shut. We walked in, shut the door. It just swung open by itself. And later on, we actually showed you that it actually is a very heavy door that only swings shut, doesn't swing open. Clay has said that after I went to the bathroom, I did it again. I heard something. I didn't see it. But Clay is not prone to flights of fancy. So I generally believe him since we saw it once. I hope we got it on camera, but it seems like more activity happens when there's nothing on camera. Our electronics did malfunction quite a bit. Clay and I are filmmakers first, and we've used these cameras several times and the monitors. We've never had any malfunctions before. The monitors kept clicking in and out. It was very weird. And when you see our podcast, we notice it quite a bit. Clay and I noticed some sounds coming from the closet, but that could have been anything. I mean, honestly.
My personal opinion, you can probably find somewhere better to stay, somewhere scarier. I did want to be scared, so I don't know.
We did see some stuff that happened, and maybe when we get home and I review all the footage, we'll have some definitive proof. But for now, I don't have any. That's all there is to it. So we'll see. I don't know how well those dowsing rods actually work. It's our first time using them, but I use them as the directions told us to. And as you can see from the footage that we'll show you, I didn't move, not 1 iota, not 1 millimeter did I move. So those were doing that pretty erratically, back and forth when I asked questions, pretty much on the ball. So I'll be really excited to see what happens, and I think that's all I have to say tonight. Probably gonna go to bed, record us sleeping for a while, and see if anything actually really scary happens.
Adam, did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Go check it out. It sounded like the door.
What was that? Put the chair on the door.
You didn't see anything?
Nothing out there. Maybe we need a nightlight. Maybe. Oh, I'm done with this place.
Awesome. Just awesome.
Try to get some sleep before the morning.
I've heard a couple of scary stories. I have a few coworkers who are afraid to go down to the basement by themselves.
I don't know. It's something that I think you feel when you're in the hotel. If you're like sensitive to energies, you can feel that it's haunted.
Upon review of the footage and sound, we noticed that our equipment would inexplicably fail at times, but only in the hotel. From frequent audio interferences that would only happen in the building.
We can do another one on Flagstaff. You want to do the first page? We can do a first page.
This isn't the city of lights, but the sun still falls on the city. Lights.
Lights.
Lights. Lights. Lights.
To the haze in the room that nobody working in the hotel could explain.
And something that Clay captured in his EVP session.
Why do you stay at this hotel? Are you trapped? Why do you stay at this hotel? Are you trapped?
Upon further review of the evidence, we could not rule out the possibility of supernatural activity at the hotel. But we feel that we cannot completely confirm it either. Although the evidence is compelling, and there seems to be numerous witness accounts, it seems the Hotel Monte Vista will continue to hold on to her secrets for now.